Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Man, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Before I get into the video, let me just say this, okay? I feel like I'm at home right now. I'm in front of the camera. I'm talking boxing, and it's okay, man. Like, we're gonna talk boxing anyway. Anyway, we're gonna talk boxing. Uh, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, they're gonna fight on August 25th. Some undercard information for those of you who may be interested in what's going on that undercard. Okay, heavyweight fight on the undercard. Interesting matchup, I think at least. You guys let me know in the comments if you think this is an interesting matchup. Okay, Adam Kownacki, guy, a contender in the division, a guy up and coming fighter in the division. It looks like that he's gonna be fighting Charles Martin. Yes, that Charles Martin. He'll be fighting Charles Martin on the undercard of Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Now, that's an interesting fight to me. I'll say this is why. Kownacki is a guy that, if you've watched any of his fights, like he comes to fight, man. Like the guy, and when I say that, I mean like he always, you're not cheated when you watch another Kownacki fight. You know you're gonna get a quality heavyweight matchup. And he's coming off some good wins. Last year he stopped Artur Spilka. That's probably the most notable win of his career. He stopped Artur Spilka. So there was that. He had a stoppage victory earlier this year against 26-1 guy at the Barclays Center. So he's been picking up some very good wins and making himself slowly a name in this division. And Charles Martin is a guy that's interesting because when we think about the career of Charles Martin, it's just an interesting career because he won the title and he won the IBF title back in 2015. And the weirdest way you can win a title when he fought Glaskov. Glaskov was a blown up cruiserweight who got a title shot. Martin fought him for the vacant belt. Glaskov broke his foot in like the fourth or fifth round, and Charles Martin just got the championship by the default, really. So he was basically the IBF champion by default. And what he essentially did was Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn came knocking on his door. They offered him like $4 or $5 million. They were paid the hell out of him, and he basically sold his belt to Anthony Joshua because there was no way in hell he was gonna win that fight. Anthony Joshua smashed him up in 2 rounds, and that was the first of Anthony Joshua's belts that he won. So that's what happened with Anthony Joshua, and that was the title fight that started Anthony Joshua on that path, that fast track to stardom that he's been on ever since, and now he's been selling out stadiums. So this is Martin's first, I would say, big fight since then. If this winds up going through, interesting matchup because Martin's a taller guy, rangier guy. Kownacki is kind of shorter and stockier, but Martin's never really shown the ability to control range. Kownacki has shown the ability to overpower quality heavyweights and stop them, like a guy like Artur Spilka, being able to stop a guy like that. So very interesting to see what kind of Charles Martin shows up. He's only had 2 fights since the Anthony Joshua fight in 2016. My bad, not 2015, 2016. He only had 2 fights since then. He fought a 30-20 guy named Byron Poli. Never heard of him. And then he fought Michael Marone, who I'm familiar with because he's actually a South Florida guy, and he fought Shannon Briggs a couple years ago. I was at that fight. And he stopped Michael Marone. That was last July. So by the time they get into the ring, Martin will be coming off a year layoff. He's 32 years old. Kownacki, he's been a lot more active. So you give him the edge. I would be led to believe, too, that because of Martin's inability to control range, Kownacki, I'll give him the slight edge in this fight, but it'll be interesting to see how Martin looks because I do follow Charles Martin on Instagram. Very, very interesting guy, as always. Very interesting guy, as you guys have seen from his interviews in the past, and even like now, he's just very interesting guy. He's been getting a lot of sparring in with the likes of Malik Scott, Gerald Washington, other guys over there in California at the Pullman's gym. So shout out to those guys over there at the Pullman's gym and whatnot. And yeah, it's a good fight. The matchup intrigues me because of where both these guys are at in their careers. Martin is really a guy that, I hate to say this, I don't mean disrespectful to him, but he was really a guy that many people would label a paper champion of the highest order. And he just happened to run into a title. And then when he fought somebody of note, he got smashed up by Anthony Joshua. So we don't really know how good he is or how good he was. Nobody really thinks he was that good to begin with, but he just happened to run into a title. Kownacki's a guy that people don't really pay a ton of attention to unless you really follow the heavyweight boxing scene. But he is an exciting fighter. He is a solid fighter. He seems to be a guy that you would look at, maybe not being, I don't think he'd be a world champion, But I could see a guy like Adam Kownacki, and I know these guys are friends, and they said they're not going to fight each other, but I could see a fight like Adam Kownacki versus Jarrell Miller down the line as a big fight for me, like an eliminator for a world title shot, like so something like that. Like I'm just saying, like that fight seems like one that could be good down the line, but I ain't against this one at all. I think it's a good addition to the card in terms of New York, because with these matches too, that like you gotta make sure that like wherever the fights take place, that people are familiar with these fighters. And Adam Kownacki is a Brooklyn. He's very familiar. He's very familiar with the Brooklyn area. He fights in Brooklyn. I think he lives in Brooklyn as well. So he's a Brooklyn fighter, and he's fighting a guy in Martin that people know because he fought Anthony Joshua. So good addition to the card. I'll be looking forward to that. I keep saying Archer Spilka. Adam Kownacki versus Charles Martin. Charles Martin no longer walks to earth like a god, like he said that one time in the Anthony Joshua interview. But all jokes aside, it'll be interesting to see. We'll see how everything plays out. So let me know what you guys think. Adam Kownacki, Charles Martin. Charles Martin on the fast track to rebuilding, walking his earth like a god, like he used to say. Adam Kownacki looking to continue climbing up the heavyweight division. So let me know what you guys think. What do you make of this matchup? If you have any insightful things you want to say about it that maybe I didn't say, go ahead and say it in the comments. Leave them down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding. So until next time, take care, guys.